We continue discussing the spiritual discipline of overcoming our failures, as that's our focus this week, the discipline of overcoming our failures. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, well, that's not a classical spiritual discipline. It's true, it's not. But you know, I find in my own life, as I pursue Jesus, as I passionately draw closer to Him and desire to become more like Him, to change my nature to become more like His, to see my sweet Jesus in every moment of my life, I find sometimes those past failures or the present failures, when I try to change and I fall backward, I find in those times that there is a major roadblock to my journey of drawing closer to Him. I ask myself, how could you fail again? How could you fall backwards again? How could you fall for it again? And so, as a disciple maker, I feel it's my duty to share this with you because I know you feel the same way too. And so, let me ask you a question today as we continue our journey this week. Have you allowed your failures to force you to doubt God? That sounds like a silly question, doesn't it? You know, the first person we think of to blame when we fail is ourselves. We think, how could you fall to that again? Why were you so blind? Are you an idiot? Why did you fail? But rarely do we think of blaming God, right? Wrong. Let me give you a passage from the Gospels as an example. You know, it's the story of when the disciples and Jesus were in the boat on the Sea of Galilee, and it was nighttime, and a huge storm came about. And it was so bad that the disciples feared for their lives. But Jesus was asleep in the hull of the boat. And so one of the disciples woke him up and said, "Don't you care that we're about to die?" And so Jesus woke up from his sleep, and casually he walked to the bow of the ship, and he waved his hand, and he said, "Peace be still," and the storm stopped immediately. Well, it says that Peter had a strange response to that miracle. Instead of asking Jesus to draw closer to him because that was amazing, Peter did just the opposite. He said, "Lord, get away from me. I am a sinful man." You know, I find myself doing that very same thing when I sin. And I would bet you do the same thing too. When we sin, instead of drawing Jesus closer to us for forgiveness, for help, for strength, for the love that we need to get through it, we do just the opposite. We doubt Him. We doubt that He loves us. We doubt that He'll forgive us. We doubt that we matter enough to Him to give us another chance. And so that's how our failures force us to doubt God. I want to encourage you today, brothers, to fight the urge to doubt God when you fail. Because our God has promised that He will never leave us nor forsake us. He will forgive us till the very end. When you look at Jesus and when you pray to Him after failing, you're praying to the one who died on the cross with full view of your sins and the ugliness of those sins and the effect of those sins over all history. So I encourage you today, brothers, that you would not doubt God because He is fail-proof and He loves you despite your failures. Have a good day.